For countless years, the rugged peaks of Mount Sinai have stood against the desert sky, a silent witness to history and faith. It's on these very slopes that tradition tells of Moses receiving the Ten Commandments, a pivotal moment that shaped the beliefs of billions. This mountain draws those seeking to connect with that ancient story, to touch a place held sacred across generations. And at its base, like a steadfast guardian, lies St. Catherine's Monastery, preserving centuries of this holy ground's legacy. But my journey up this legendary mountain wasn't the only memorable part. It was on the way down, amidst the ancient paths, that something truly unexpected happened, an encounter so strange that it felt like a moment pulled from the mountain's ancient past. What unfolded in those quiet moments is something I still can't fully explain. My adventure began late in the evening with a pickup from Sharm el-Sheikh. The world outside the car window was a dark expanse as we drove for about 3 hours towards the Sinai Peninsula. There was a growing sense of anticipation, a quiet excitement for the climb ahead. Arriving at the base of Mount Sinai, the atmosphere was calm but purposeful. We passed through a quick security checkpoint, a necessary step before embarking on this journey into such a significant place. It was here that I met my local guide, a friendly face in the night. He gave me a brief overview of the route and what to expect on our way to the summit. With a quick nod and a shared sense of anticipation, we started our ascent. The initial part of the hike was surprisingly manageable. The path was well-defined, easy to follow even in the darkness with the help of our headlamps. The beam of light in front of me illuminated the immediate path, while in the distance, I could see other lights, the headlamps of fellow climbers already making their way up the mountain. There was a steady stream of people making the hike, a mix of pilgrims and adventurers, all sharing this unique experience. Adding to the atmosphere were the local Bedouins with their camels, offering rides to those who preferred a less strenuous ascent. It was quite a sight, these majestic animals moving slowly but surely up the mountain under the starlit sky. And scattered along the track, we would occasionally pass small coffee houses run by the local Bedouins, offering a warm drink and a brief respite for those making the long trek upwards. After a few hours of steady hiking, the well-defined path abruptly changed. We reached the base of the infamous 750 steps. This was a different kind of challenge altogether. The steps were narrow, often just loose stones stacked upon each other, and with a significant drop to one side, it definitely made you watch your footing. There was a noticeable queue here, as people carefully made their way up, some needing to pause, which slowed the pace for everyone. It was a section that required focus and a bit of nerve, especially navigating those makeshift stairs in the darkness. After what felt like an eternity navigating the 750 steps, we finally reached a slightly flatter area where a small, local coffee house offered a welcome break. It was a chance to catch our breath, grab a warm drink, and mentally prepare for the final push to the summit. The air was noticeably cooler now, and there was a shared sense of anticipation among the hikers, knowing the sunrise was just moments away. With about 40 minutes left before the sun was due to appear, I decided to make the final, relatively short ascent. Getting there a bit early would hopefully allow me to find a good vantage point to witness the spectacle. Finally, after the long hours of hiking through the darkness, the terrain began to level out further as I reached the summit. A wave of accomplishment washed over me, a feeling of having reached a significant goal. As the first hints of dawn began to paint the eastern sky, the panoramic views started to reveal themselves. Even in the dim light, I could sense the vastness of the landscape stretching out below. And then, the moment everyone had been waiting for, the sunrise. Slowly, majestically, the sun peaked over the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow across the rugged peaks. It was a truly breathtaking and unforgettable sight, a reward that made every step of the journey worthwhile. Standing at the summit of Mount Sinai, as the warm sunlight bathed the landscape, it was striking to see the symbols of different faiths coexisting peacefully. There, side by side, stood a small church and a mosque, both serving as places of worship on this revered mountain. This unique harmony speaks volumes about the shared history and significance of this site. And just to the side of the church, nestled amongst the rocks, was the cave believed to be where Moses sought refuge and received further divine inspiration after delivering the Ten Commandments. It's a small, simple space, but one that carries immense spiritual weight for many who make the hike. Taking in the panoramic views from this height, you can truly appreciate the stark beauty and the sense of isolation that must have been felt by those who came here seeking a connection with something greater than themselves. With the sunrise witnessed and the summit explored, it was time to begin the descent. As I started making my way back down the steps, I immediately noticed something unusual. The mountain, which had been bustling with climbers just hours before, now felt strangely deserted. The steady stream of people had vanished, leaving me in an unexpected solitude on those ancient paths. Focused on the steps beneath my feet, I was carefully making my way down. Then, I looked up, and there he was. About 50 meters ahead was a figure unlike anyone I had seen during the ascent. He was wearing a long, brown coat that seemed quite old, and his head was covered by a hood that was part of the coat. It wasn't the typical attire of a tourist, nor did it resemble the clothing of the local guides I had encountered. He was simply walking down. As I continued my descent, a peculiar feeling came over me. It was as if this figure was guiding me, leading the way down the mountain. It wasn't a sense of fear, but rather a profound curiosity about who he was. I tried to catch up, increasing my pace, but he seemed to match my speed. When I slowed down to be more cautious on the steps, he too would slow down, always maintaining roughly the same distance ahead. It was a very strange sensation, like he was showing me the path. As we reached the bottom of the steps, he stopped just as I had to look down to navigate some loose stones. When I looked up again, he was gone. It was as sudden as his appearance. I reached the spot where I had last seen him, scanned the surroundings, but there was no trace of him anywhere. For several minutes, I stood there, trying to understand what had just happened before continuing my way down, the encounter leaving me with a lingering sense of wonder. As I continued my descent down, the rising sun finally gave me the chance to truly appreciate the spectacular views surrounding Mount Sinai. The rugged mountains, painted in hues of orange and brown, stretched out as far as the eye could see. It was a breathtaking panorama, a stark contrast to the limited visibility of the night climb. Every turn offered a new vista, a reminder of the raw beauty of this ancient landscape. Reaching the bottom of Mount Sinai, the ancient walls of St. Catherine's Monastery came into view. After the physical exertion of the hike and the perplexing encounter on the descent, the tranquility of the monastery grounds offered a stark contrast. I took a short break at the small coffee shop within the monastery grounds, a moment to rest and reflect before joining a group of tourists with a new guide for a brief but insightful tour of St. Catherine's Monastery. This incredible monastery is one of the oldest continuously operating Christian monasteries in the world, with a history stretching back to the 6th century. Its fortified walls have protected a wealth of religious icons, ancient manuscripts, and stunning artwork for over 1,500 years. It's a place steeped in history and spirituality, a testament to the enduring faith in this region. After the short but meaningful tour of the monastery, I made my way back to the car for the drive back to my hotel in Sharm el-Sheikh. Although I was physically exhausted from the night's hike, I found myself unable to sleep. My mind was still racing, replaying the events of the journey. My journey to Mount Sinai was far more than just a physical challenge. It was a pilgrimage through history, a witness to breathtaking natural beauty, and an encounter with something that still defies explanation. Standing on the summit at sunrise, exploring the ancient St. Catherine's Monastery, and experiencing the profound silence of those mountain paths left a lasting impression. If you enjoyed this journey to Mount Sinai, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unique adventures and travel tips, and share it with anyone who might be inspired to undertake their own journey to this incredible place. Thank you for watching and safe travels.